City, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Tailgate Show, fellas. We are coming off an epic defeat of the Lions. It was exciting. Edge of my seat the whole time.
Offensive explosions.
I think your intro was more exciting than that game.
Fellas.
Andy Dalton, baby.
Yes.
Cinnamon Cannon, fire him up.
So, the game was a freaking clusterfuck from the coin toss.
Right.
Like,
what exactly happened there? Just describe
the double defer.
Bears Lions.
The double defer. No, we don't want the ball either. I bet not.
Do you think the vibe would have been different if there wasn't so much drama leading up to the game? You think
drama?
It would have been
what drama do you speak of?
So we already talked about the reports that came out from everybody except the fact that it was from the patch, which seemed a little odd that a guy that was once a really well-renowned writer or whatever ends up working for a local patch, so that seemed kind of odd. But then you find out he has a history of reporting legitimate things. And then we heard it from A-Rob's pod partner there, and all of a sudden, then Biggs had the report that Nagy canceled the practices. All of it was basically shot down. You almost wonder if it leaked, and then they didn't want people to think that things could leak.
Well, and Jay Glazer comes out this Sunday and says that all of that was false from top to bottom.
How many days later?
Dude's super connected. I mean, I trust Jay Glazer, but I like that guy's response who put out the report from Patch yesterday. I don't know if y'all saw that. He basically said either I just got really bad information from a really solid source, or the Bears just changed their mind.
That's what it came off like to me. It seemed like, oh yeah, we want to control our own message almost. It felt
which has been a theme. That's been a theme with them though. I mean, you talk about training camp and then shutting down the phones and stuff. Supposedly, they don't want people shooting video. They don't, very much wanting to control the message. So it wouldn't shock me if that was what happened at all.
Be very on brand for them.
Yes,
it just felt a little off. Something didn't connect. And then you had the people that were kind of being dicks on Twitter about they just because they didn't get the source. It's just so stupid. People are so worried about being right all the time.
Yep. There's something.
The log.
Yeah.
There.
Hey, 2023, man.
I mean, what's that, Jay?
2023, man. Coming quick.
Yeah.
No more Ted.
Right.
According to the
sources.
I don't even know if I believe that.
So that's what I'm saying. All that drama leading up to this game, I think it made it more but I think it would our vibe would have felt a little different if all this shit wasn't brought out before the game.
I was actually kind of proud that they somehow found a way to win a game that, with everything that was going on, they found a way to win, or not lose, I guess would be the more operative term, not lose.
I hated how desperate the kneeling looked at the end, though.
Why didn't they? I know it. Just score the touchdown. If you don't trust your defense,
hell no. Why would you? This is coming after a week after I defended the defense in the group thread, saying that they were playing great at one point. No, honestly, I thought it was 110% the right move to kneel that ball down. I wouldn't have trusted those fuckers either.
I hate it.
I hated it too.
I mean, that's where we're at, boys. If this defense gives up lead after lead at the end of games, why would you even risk putting it in there? At this point, I trust Carlos Santos more than I trust this defense.
He missed a field goal too.
Do you think it was a defense?
Still trust him more.
The offensive line, the way that Detroit shut down the run.
I mean, I think at that point, Detroit's probably going to let you score.
Timeout.
It's Detroit, bro.
That's also fair. That's fair. Dude, that botched clock
Who
management
stopped?
by
Who
Dan
stopped the
Campbell
running
down
game for the
there.
Bears? Who stopped the running game for the Bears? Let's identify the source. It wasn't the Lions. It was Matt Nagy, and his offensive coordinator stopped.
Really flowing, bro.
I was
Well,
okay with the run call
statistically-
balance.
The play call balance, yes, but the production, no.
Well, that's why you shift it to more of a passing attack, right?
Right, and Detroit's not even a really good run stopping defense. That was a
They're the
frustrating part
worst
for
in
me.
the NFL. So what are you doing?
Well, I mean, I love Monty, but he's lost the burst that he had in the beginning of the season. I don't think he's 100% yet, so I don't think it's all on him. I just hope they didn't rush him back to beat him up for, what's going on, because he really did have he worked on his speed in the offseason. Man, the beginning of the season, it was like, okay, like hitting home runs.
You can see it.
Yeah.
Noticeable. Yeah.
Right. So I'm just
Now he's
hoping
dinged up.
I'm hoping he's still pushing forward with recovery versus I don't want to see anything go backwards for him.
Are you all surprised they have not split carries more evenly between those two? Based on what Herbert showed over those couple games?
No, and it's because of his blocking. Monty blocks better, so Herbert doesn't get the run. And you've seen also Herbert's not really busted anything out since he's come back.
They haven't
Since
really
Monty's
let him
come
get.
back.
They haven't really let him get in a flow though.
I think he's got
He's had a couple of series
seven total touches, I believe,
Yeah.
since Monty's been back. But I do think Jerry is correct with that's something we brought up on earlier preview pods, was how much would they trust, a rookie Herbert with blocking.
Right.
So I think that's fair, Jer.
So it was just a brutal game to watch.
I mean, it was nice to see the ball get spread around to guys. It was like, oh yeah, they're still on the team, where there's a bird sighting, and that's what you get with a veteran quarterback. So it was nice to see guys get involved that way. Nice to see over 300 yards passing.
Let's address the elephant in the room when you're done talking.
Yeah, I think there was more opportunity to score more. I expected 28 just because of Dalton versus the Lions, but I think they left a lot of points, opportunities on the field.
Just
that one pick he threw, if he had just gotten that thing up a couple more inches.
Pause.
I have that problem too.
Brought to you by Blue Chew.
I ain't sponsoring us. You want that read?
But they should.
Reach
out to our people, Blue Chew.
I had the UConn basketball game on my iPad while I was watching the game, and I never do that, but it was just like
you needed some happy. I was sitting at my aunt's just.
No, UConn lost.
I never
too.
correct.
Yeah, man, it was a very tough game to watch.
So, what do you do with the quarterback position?
Fields starts if he's healthy.
Broken ribs, man. I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. I want to see his development continue, but at the same time, like if
the offense
he has broken ribs, I don't want him to be fucked up for no reason.
The offense looked better or worse with Andy Dalton?
It looked better, but that's also expected.
Versus a worse opponent too. I think people forget that.
Justin had a good game against the Lions too. Now you could stack up those two games and say Dalton probably played marginally better than Justin did, but I think it all depends on how you view this season. Are you looking to win games and make a run in the playoffs?
I don't think that's fair to Justin though, because I think that Nagy's calling a better game plan for Dalton. Justin goes out, Dalton starts running RPO. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Right.
I mean, I didn't totally hate the game plan the first meeting with Detroit when Justin started.
No.
I mean, they took the deep shots that were there, that were available. I didn't hate it. I think last week's game plan was even worse than that. They haven't called a screen in 3 or 4 weeks, so then second play Andy Dalton comes in, you throw a screen pass?
Right.
And they executed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Broken ribs, man, sounds like a few more weeks to me. I'm no doctor.
They're talking micro fractures, right? Not really. I think they said microfractures. That word came out.
Nagy said broken. I didn't say anything after that.
I'm sure he said broken. He don't want. I really don't think he wants Justin to play.
No, he actually said that it wasn't George's decision either.
Yeah,
I mean, nothing was true.
According to the sources there. Sources.
I think it was Ryan Pace's decision.
I think it came down from over his head, and I don't think he wanted to play him. Now he's got that chance. He's got the ability to throw Andy back out there now that Andy is healthy. And then I wouldn't put it past him which he's a coach. Self-preservation,
100%
is something, So he might, if he's going to go down, he's going to go down with his boy.
So are you predicting a Foles-like run with Dalton to the Super Bowl?
No, I'm predicting Nagy will ride Dalton until the writing's on the wall.
I mean, it's probably a smart play. His two options of self-preservation are to hitch his wagon to a veteran or to hope and pray that Justin looks a lot better than he's looked over the past couple weeks for the rest of the year. So him hitching to Dalton really doesn't surprise me if he is in self-preservation mode.
If he is, we'll definitely see that.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not they'll actually let him pull that BS off is a different thing. Because like you said, if it came from over his head to put Justin in, that's going to continue that pressure. So if Justin's ready, I think he's going to play. It's
not beyond the Bears to have a veteran quarterback put on a team because the coach wanted him there.
No, but I think the best thing if Nagy does have an opportunity to save his job is to prove that he can make Fields work. Because if not, they don't give a fuck.
They shouldn't. They shouldn't give a fuck.
That's a fair point.
You know what I mean? So I think that's the more the pressure is there, man. I want this guy gone though.
Well, there's rumors flying about every coaching position anymore. College, pros, you don't know what's going to happen right now.
I know Jim Harbaugh beats freaking Ohio State, and all of a sudden everybody wants Harbaugh.
Ryan Day there's rumors now.
I mean, it's cute for Twitter, and I'm assuming if you're really serious about these like one game at a time responses, that's not how it works. Just to let you guys out there know, because I know it's part of it's just Twitter sarcasm, like every game by every game, but like I don't know, man. And then Ryan Day too, like interesting name, right? No, the connection with Fields, but like he took over a 12-1 program. He didn't,
and he kept it there. He didn't let it slip either.
But
with different players, some guys decommitted, some guys recommitted.
Where Harbaugh took over a bad record NFL franchise, turned them around, went to Michigan. He's done some pretty nice things there. Recruiting classes take a little time. You know what I mean? Like they're
maybe. Well, I mean, by that same token, Ryan Day's had recruiting classes come in, and they perform at a maximum level.
Yeah, sure. He inherited a pretty good situation. That's all I'm saying.
But he also maintained it. He didn't let it slip into Michigan pre-Harbaugh.
It's a pretty safe environment to succeed in, is all I'm going to say. The next coach, Ohio State. I think the next coach will be just fine too.
You get there by winning, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he wins. And the offense is good. I mean, I don't know. I see your argument.
These college guys live like kings, man.
Why would you ever leave?
Well, that's the thing. Doesn't Harbaugh beating Ohio State sort of maybe solidify his standing in Michigan a little bit more?
It increases his yearly salary, no question. I guess Brian Kelly, I heard the offer was like $15 million a year at LSU.
That's nuts.
You hate to see it.
Why the hell would you go to the NFL?
Right. And the only reason you go to the NFL,
it's the charter franchise.
Well, I mean, I guess the recruiting could get annoying, I'm sure.
But still, the reality is that's probably the only reason you would go to the NFL is because you have a desire to be an NFL coach. Nick Saban tried it. How'd that work out?
He was a total asshole from all reports. Like,
Yep.
Just a dick to everybody, even the people that worked at the stadium. Like, he was brutal.
Yeah, I think that approach works in college. I don't think that approach works in the pros.
I think NFL Films did a thing about that Browns team that he was part of the coaching staff on. You talk about a who's who.
That was a hell of a staff. Yeah,
it was a hell of a staff.
Was there. Yeah.
And what did they do? You know, sometimes you can have coaches and just not have players.
I mean, at that time,
it's going to be a problem.
7-9. Yeah. At the time, that was probably a record for Cleveland, if you think about it.
Right. Well, now we get into injuries. You lost Roquan.
Yeah, Christian Jones ain't it either.
He wasn't brought in to be it though.
No, he wasn't. But it's not even like we're falling back on like a KPL guy who is like somewhat serviceable.
It's EA Booney way time. Get ready.
I will say this though, for the depth looked all right in the game. I mean, the defense, all things considered, and I know you brought this up the week before, Biscuits. They did look pretty good for the most part.
Pretty good, huh?
Pretty good, not great.
Okay, not great. Just wanted to be clear.
Get them semantics correct.
Vildor, Artie Burns, man.
He got torched on that first play, but after that,
he settled in.
There were two that he got burnt pretty good on, but yeah, he settled in eventually.
But Steelers fans will tell you too that he was that way at Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So
speaking to Diddy's point about the depth, shout out AA who does not listen to this pod, the loud funny man. At one point on defense, there was Caleb Johnson, Christian Jones, Marquis Christian, Artie Burns, Trevis Gibson, Tayshaun Gibson, all of them out there together at once.
Oof.
All things considered, not bad.
No Snowden though.
No.
Snowden.
Maybe someday.
Yep. South Elgin. I was like, South Gin? What the hell? Yeah, Lions are trash. Absolutely.
Yep.
But, to our credit, we actually somewhat tackled.
I mean, Swift going out was a huge, huge boost for this defense, not having to worry about him coming out of the backfield.
Yep. Just
still worry about. I mean, so we're at 4-7. I don't know what the score is of the Washington game right now.
It was just the fact that, like, the way it ended, though. Like I said, the kneeling against the worst team in the NFL. That's what we have to do to get out of that.
I agree.
I mean, was it bad? Yeah, but I still.
Was it club dub worthy afterwards?
17-9, Washington. Seattle, man. Seattle's broken.
Bro, club dub after that, though.
Oh, God.
Oh, there was club dub. Yeah, they showed a video of Justin dancing.
Anyway.
Let's club dub. Yes, let's do it.
And now here we are. I think reality is going to set in very quickly. We were playing two of the best teams in the NFC off a bye week. So
I think the reality is already set in for most of us.
Yeah, I think we are.
And any word on Kyler? I mean, we'll get into it later in the week, but
why would you force him back against us?
Well, he did post a thing, a GIF thing that everyone's speculating is he will be back this week. It's some Thanos GIF or something.
Thanos the Bears.
I don't fucking know. That's just what the hot chatter is on Twitter.
God, that is brutal if he comes back with the Roquan not being there.
And the Chicago media too. Every time like we play Lamar and they have to go there with like, well,
he's black.
He's black and Justin's black. This week it's Kyler Murray and Potash was like, well, they're the same kind of quarterback to Nagy. I'm like, it's just like it.
It's kind of cringeworthy.
It really is.
It's like he's a black quarterback. Obviously caught the touchdown. Old guy. He's old. Damn it. Why does my brain freeze up like this?
Jimmy Graham?
Jimmy Graham. It's like every time he's like, so you're old. How do you like your being old on the team? It's the same questions. It's like, God, if I was Jimmy Graham, I'd just be like, you know what, motherfucker, I'm old, but I can still play, and I'm playing.
Yeah,
And scoring touchdowns.
Now you, JR, you were like, oh, Nagy went straight ether or whatever you said about how he came out. Was it Monday? No,
Yeah, he
I'm
came.
sorry. It was like
No, it
2
was
days
Oh, on the presser. Yeah.
after
Day
where
the
he
game.
was-
then.
presser. Friday
where he
presser.
shot everything down from the press.
Yeah.
And he's
I mean-
like, hey, if you want to know, just ask. And it's just like, that's not really how that works, Matt. We know that.
Were you super impressed?
You know, for a guy that's been under fire like he has been, I'll give him that much.
There's a lot of softballs, though. I think it was at the very end. I'm pretty sure it was 79th and Hallis that asked it, the question about the underperformance of the DBs. I thought that was the best question asked at that presser. And he kind of side-skirted it.
I totally agree. I think that those guys somehow, I don't know. I like some of the questions that they throw out there. They're not all just, I mean, there's some actual good questions there. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. I mean, Jason Leisure is normally really, really good, but he's asked some very odd things here lately.
Yeah.
But
Robert Quinn got another sack, by the way.
Shout out to him, man. I once upon a time called that guy homeless, and he looks damn good. He's by
the
far
only
been the most
one.
consistent player on this entire team all year.
He's the only one worthy of a Pro Bowl vote, other than Roquan if he's healthy.
And that
Yeah,
might be
it's fair.
that might be the scenario next offseason. Like it might be
Oh God.
for the money. Quinn's playing really well. You're gonna have to move on from Mac probably. So
I don't know. I don't know what the age discrepancy is there.
I think they're like a year.
Yeah, they're very, very close in age. But I think the big thing is going to be the money aspect of it. I was reading something that a June 1, Seattle just scored, by the way, a June 1 trade of Khalil would limit that amount of dead cap, so it might be possible. You're just selling at such a low time now. And he just has not been healthy now for, since 2018, really.
And then Bruce Irvin, we haven't really seen what he has left. So if he comes in and just destroys shit.
Who was that? I missed that.
Bruce Irvin.
Oh, was he? Did he even dress? Was he inactive?
I didn't see anything about him.
Okay.
Got his walker. Gonna knock you out into this wheelchair.
Thought Kmet played pretty well.
Yes, Cole Kmet. You know what? There's some bonus points right there. That kid's really starting to look good.
Solid, like Rudolph, man. That's
yeah. We ain't asking much.
I'll take Rudolph all day.
Yep. And he keeps getting open, and he keeps making catches, and he's shedding tacklers a little bit.
I mean, he
you can start to see
well too.
That's my favorite part about him is he does not go down easily. Might not be the most athletically gifted guy out there, but yeah, he's come on the past couple weeks. I can't even hate on the kid.
Darnell Mooney
amazing what happens when you run him up the seam too.
No, Darnell Mooney back-to-back 100-yard games.
Yep, that's something that I feel like you can establish. It also makes a certain receiver a little bit more expendable.
The only thing with Darnell is that he does have the drops once in a while.
I don't disagree. He's also self-aware. Works on the Jex machine all the time, so
I don't know if he's ready to be a number one just yet, but he's doing well with his opportunity at it right now.
Define number one in this offense.
Sure.
He's number one.
I think he's a ceiling number 2 guy.
Olave next year, that's who's number 1.
Olave?
Olave, sorry. Did I say Olave?
Olave.
What, are we just gonna trade our entire draft to get back up in the first round to take him?
I'd take a first round pick just to get Justin's guy. Hell fucking yeah.
So give up all your picks in that next year's draft.
Give up your one in the pick that you're trading up from.
We don't have a one.
We don't have one. I think it means the following year.
Next year. Oh
well. What are we just gonna take the Rams?
The Rams do that.
Just kick the can down the road.
To get one of Justin's boys here that he already has chemistry with.
Who's the other guy too? Garrett.
He's
I
nasty too.
would not mind him at all.
Yeah,
Just proves that you still have to coach that talent, and you still have to maintain that talent. And Ryan Day has done that. Thank you. I rest my case. Ryan Day, bitches. That's what I want.
weren't they there before him?
Olave was.
Hmm.
I think there's another guy that had 3,000-yard receivers.
Yeah, he's got a weird hyphenated name. I know who you're talking. Yeah,
We ain't going there.
He gave the dude a Lamborghini, and he's maintained it.
Yeah.
I mean, you give.
And wrap it around a telephone pole or take it down to fucking Miami. Send out Bam Bam.
I mean, I think you can go through every single candidate and have a potential criticism of the guy. I mean,
Okay.
Let's do it.
Harbaugh.
Okay. He's a fucking asshole. Rubs people the wrong way.
Harbaugh, to me, this is the first year he's done anything. I don't give a shit. That's Michigan. Michigan's a top.
NFL record's pretty impressive, actually. It's like 45-11.
Who was his offensive coordinator?
Yeah. So what happened after Cap got figured out by the league?
Womp womp. Same thing's happening to Lamar.
I also don't think he was given a chance to really rebound fully from that too. I mean, it wasn't very long after that he was out the door. Just playing devil's advocate here.
He's not done enough. If you can't, in my opinion, he's not done enough. He did enough at Stanford to justify the San Francisco job. I get that. But Michigan, shit, we beat Michigan. We don't beat anybody. Indiana beat Michigan last year. Beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, you guys really took all that inspiration into this season, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We took it. Well, when all your coaches get plucked to the SEC, which is you're about to see that too, makes a difference.
I mean, at least he's not a Notre Dame fan, making it to the college football playoff and blowing it every year.
At least we get there.
Ooh.
Coastal?
Dude,
come on, man.
Coastal? Grayson McCall, baby. Let's go.
Brian Dabble, boys. Dabble.
Riding the coattails of his quarterback. He was an exceptional athlete.
There was like a 3-week stretch for it there where the Bills were putting up like 9 to 12 points. I think any candidate the Bears fans think about, they just automatically turn to shit for a couple weeks.
Very possible.
But it's a lot of talent. It's the same thing for me with Kellen Moore. It's like, yeah, I like what Kellen Moore's doing, but are we going to have CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Dalton Schultz, that offensive line, and that quarterback play?
No, you will not.
Mike McCarthy overseeing it all, guys. That's my only thing. Like, he's an offensive coach.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with Leftwich.
Yep.
Yeah, hell of a lot of talent there, too.
But Arians also has his say on the offense. Like, that's
right. So who's the dark horse candidate that you just out of nowhere?
I haven't brought up all the names yet. Roman has been a hot name.
Roman, I get, but I feel like that's kind of I feel like he would sell Justin short. I don't think he would develop Justin properly.
But you just gave credit to him for Harbaugh's success.
Ooh,
different quarterback.
I mean, he developed Kaepernick. He's worked wonders with Lamar.
It's running quarterbacks. Justin, everybody needs to get this out of his head. Justin is not a running quarterback. He is a pocket passing quarterback. Okay. Everybody's got this in their head that he's just this. Now, if the play breaks down, can he run? Yes.
Okay, but my argument to that is he did work with Tyrod Taylor in Buffalo.
Yeah. Tyrod's not like a run-first guy.
Tyrod had one of the best years of his career under Dable.
Okay.
Double.
But a lot of people give Ken Dorsey the credit there for Josh Allen. It was kind of hard to just. I mean, that's just what I hear.
I know Allen. I know Allen's super close with Dable, though. They chill outside of the facility. Like they got.
Do they have Thanksgiving dinners together? Like All the quarterbacks except Justin Fields.
Can't tell you there. And then Sean Payton's been brought up a lot, which realistically I don't understand. You'd have to trade for him.
What would you be willing to trade for a Sean Payton?
Ryan Pace? Oh my God, who the hell knows? Dude, he would instantly nut on that one.
Chicago ties.
Pace ties too.
He's such a prick, and he wears a visor.
He might be the only coach that we've mentioned that could come in here, and Ryan Pace would cower to him.
Well, by all accounts, he's cowered to Nagy, right?
Not like he would Peyton.
All the Pace
like
protectors.
Daddy. Peyton would be like Daddy's home.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, it looks like Seattle choked. Didn't get the 2-point conversion, so.
And my number one guy, Josh McDaniels, man.
There you go. I'd be on board with that. If you could get him away.
It's starting to look better and better.
I mean, David Shaw's not realistic to me, so I'm not even going to put him in there because I do like Shaw, but he's a California kid. He's always been at Stanford as a player under Bill Walsh, Dennis Green. I just don't see it.
Could be a potential landing site for your guy.
Who's that?
For your Notre Dame.
Where?
The coach from Stanford. I mean, they went there. Ty Willingham was a Stanford guy. And
yeah, but he's a Cali guy. Like he grew up there. Like you don't leave that. He's got a pretty good gig.
I hear he likes the film Rudy though, so you got a chance.
There it is. That's why we're all here.
Can I give you two names that absolutely terrify me? That I don't even want to hear like sniffed around. 2 former veteran coaches. Can you all give me the names?
No, it's your list.
I'm saying take a guess there, Indiana Jerry.
Leslie Frazier.
No. 2 veteran coaches that you absolutely would not want to see. Leslie Frazier, I think, has some upside still, which I think B is mentioned on.
Also, ex-Bear ties.
Yeah.
You're going to have to spit it out, bro. I have no clue what you're talking
Jeff Fisher and Marvin Lewis.
Ugh. Yuck.
Those would be 2 names that if I even hear of a possible interview, I'll just.
You know, Fisher's going to get an interview.
Oh God. I think Marvin Lewis is more likely to get a second crack than Fisher.
They're going to go, well, we got this team. It goes 8-8 a lot. Jeff Fisher, we think you're the guy that can keep us at 8-8.
I could totally see them getting Fisher, bro. Oh my God.
It'd be terrible.
I could also see a scenario where Nagy stays.
God.
I mean,
what would be worse, Nagy for another year or Fisher for 3? It's Fisher sad that we're even thinking about that. That's how
Fisher did have Steve McNair.
Are you comparing Steve McNair and Justin Fields?
I think that would be a good comparison.
How old was Marv Levy when he coached
a better comparison than Lamar and Kyler, that's for sure.
How old was Marv Levy when he coached the Bills?
Old as fuck.
Yeah, he was probably old.
He's in his 70s, I'd say.
All right, Mike Shanahan's 69. Let's do it.
Turn around and do it again, baby.
Oh.
You know, I mean, I'd rather see him in there than who you just mentioned, though.
Oh, yeah, I mean, so would I, honestly. If we're going through retreats, yeah, I'd rather have Shanny as well.
And he's a Chicago guy.
Get Phillips out for the defense. Just go all old school.
There was talk about Stoops last time, too.
He was 71, by the
cycle.
way.
Yeah. Okay.
No, that's in gravy.
Remember all the Bob Stoops talk before we hired Nagy?
Yeah, now he's the interim coach at Oklahoma. Again, he's back at OU, so whatever.
We'll see, man. Josh McDaniels for me, just because he, like I've said before on here, the Patriots haven't won a Super Bowl without him. He's worked with multiple quarterbacks. The offense is always evolving depending on the talent.
And he coaches to that talent, and they recognize it, and he's not afraid to change it.
No, and I mean, he He's only 45. He got his coaching shot at like 32 or something stupid like that. He was very young.
Yep. Well, I mean, Belichick did too. Remember? So,
I mean, I'm assuming he's got the keys to the kingdom when Belichick retires. That's why he stayed so abruptly the way he did the Colts. They probably swooped in the last minute, said it's yours once he leaves. But I don't know how Belichick feels now that he has
Mac Jones.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the X factor.
I don't see Bill hanging it up anytime soon. Just doesn't seem like that kind of guy. What about a dark horse, Nathaniel Hackett, offensive coordinator for the Packers?
Daniel Hackett.
Obviously, the Aaron Rodgers effect makes everybody look good.
Right. Exactly.
I'm just trying to spit out names here, boys.
Sometimes when you try to get syrup out of the same tree, you go to tap it and the syrup doesn't come out anymore because it's been run dry. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
I'm not even sure we've made it to a tree in 100 years. So
what I'm saying, that coaching tree that you're talking about tapping into, it's Kyle, it's McVay, and I don't want to say his name, boy up north there. LaFleur. So, but eventually, when you keep tapping from the same branch, eventually you're gonna look at what we did with Nagy, like the read tree forever in this league, right? Read guys. We get a read.
Although Reich kind of has some things going now, although they lost to Tampa.
No, he's a hell of a coach, man.
Well, what about the Belichick tree with McDaniels then? That's been one of the most emulated coaching trees for NFL franchises for the last decade.
But
Charlie Weiss, baby. Charlie Weiss.
It's the opposite. You haven't got the syrup yet.
You're not drilling hard enough, not deep enough.
Go deeper.
Oh. Yeah.
And you might. I mean, he's going to come in and try to run things like Bill too. But I think we need a little bit of that because I think this is a guy that can come in and run things like that hard-nosed shit that Bill does. But he's also learned from his mistakes. Like
when you told me that they were out in the elements practicing up in New England, rain, snow, that's something that this team lacks.
I hate
is a little bit of toughness.
But I respect their success.
I mean, look at their offensive personnel this year. What he's getting out of that group of guys, which I think is very subpar.
No, they got
Kendrick Bourne, wide receiver 1.
Their tight ends are ridiculous, bro.
Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith
they paid a lot of money.
Yeah, they paid a lot of money. That's the supply and demand factor of free agency, but I would not put either of those guys like in top 10, top 12.
So
Hunter Henry's knocking on the door.
So you got a rookie
to have those 2 tight ends, though. That's huge.
Thank you. Ryan Pace, this is what we're talking about. Oh, well, you got a rookie quarterback. What's your bet? Although he did do right by the tackles. I do like the idea of bringing the tackles in.
Yeah, I gave him full pace for that. It was a good strategy.
You got to layer it with real tight end talent.
They also have a line that allows Mac Jones to have the time to operate.
Offensive line's really good. They run the ball well. I mean,
I just think their skill.
I think Josh McDaniels is an asshole. I hate what he did to that coaching staff in Indy. I really do. I know that's always the rebuttal, and I get it. But the dude has proven time and time again. Like you watch his offense, it's constantly evolving. It's boring at times. It can just run you to death. Oh, by the way, we can hit you. It's just he's a smart coach, man. He's proven.
And the whole point about the coaching search is you have to get the coach right for the quarterback.
I mean, even Jay Cutler was asked about him, and he sent Jay packing. Jay was like, no, he's a very smart dude, and he's going to be a really good football coach someday. After getting booted out of there.
Yep.
I mean,
Jay practices humility too.
He made Kyle Orton look pretty damn good, guys.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
Right.
It's all about QB1, man. So, yes, I don't. Ultimately, if we get a good football coach in here that hires the right coordinators, I'm all about that life too. But if it's going to be an offensive guy, I don't think there's any better option right now than him.
So I'm of the theory he doesn't necessarily have to be an offensive guy, but I get the point that you're making. Yeah,
And that was the allure of Ryan Day.
Yeah,
I wouldn't hate Ryan Day here, Jared.
No, it's just a guy that I think you've got to pluck more from that tree, though. I think that's a tree you can get from. I think you can get a Kevin Wilson out of there. I think you could get, I wouldn't take the defensive coordinator. No way. No thanks. But, you could, if you can, and I keep saying it, and I'm sorry, but.
Do we have the horses up front to do what they do, though? Because now you're talking about.
Yeah. This offensive line's not terrible.
Definitely don't have the horse at center. And you're probably losing one of the two guards this offseason. And we still really don't know what Tevin Jenkins is. And technically, we really still don't know what Larry Borum is either.
Borum's fairly solid.
I think you've got a starting right tackle right now.
I think so, but I would just throw caution to the wind. I think over the last 4 or 5 weeks last year, a lot of people were convinced that Sam Mustipher was going to be a piece moving forward, and I think we quickly found out this short burst success can happen. I'm just saying.
I think Borum's an upgrade to
pencil that in.
Borum's been an upgrade to a Fetty as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. No, there's
completely agree.
A rookie, dude.
Nobody's asking about a Fetty now, are they?
No. I don't want to see
that. Tells you all you need to
anymore. Granted, he could work on his leverage in the run game a little bit, but besides that, his pass pro is good.
It's been a pleasant surprise. I will say.
I'm joking. That's just what Nagy had to say. So.
Oh.
So I mean, you're Mustipher, right? You're not high on him. I agree. But
I'd bring Tears back on a 1-year flyer if he's willing.
You're looking at a 40-year-old tackle. No thanks.
Who's played? I mean, we're short on draft capital. We have a lot of holes to plug. I'm just saying, if you could get him on a 1-year, $3 million deal with the expectation that Jenkins is going to take over for him and he's just going to be sitting on the bench, maybe
you could bust him to guard.
Could do that too.
Let's talk about that in a couple weeks, man. And see how you feel about that.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm just saying.
Well, isn't the window? We're like, one week left?
Yep. For Tevin,
yeah.
For him to suit up, not.
Well, no. If they have to pull the trigger for him to go, suit up, or else he has to revert back to IR.
Right. He doesn't have to be out there starting.
Honestly, if he's healthy, we'll ask again because it's pertinent. If he's healthy, do you sign him? Do you bring him up?
If you're convinced that he is fully healthy, yes. But if there's even a sliver of a doubt that he's not, I don't think there's any reason to rush him back. And I've been consistent on that for weeks now.
Right. I feel the same way about Fields.
Yeah, that's fair.
If he's not 1,000, like 100% of 100%, you don't want him out there.
I don't want him risking it all at this point, man.
Not for this coaching staff, not for this team.
For the team, I want to see his development.
This current configuration of the team.
I don't want him to risk getting anything fucked up worse.
Now the question also is there any positive development with him under this coaching staff right now?
Pittsburgh was like our Tampa game.
1 quarter.
You referring to the Tampa Mitch game? Oh boy, Jesus!
So far, right?
I mean, if we're plucking one game out, yeah, probably.
That was our big bright shining moment. So,
which seems to be happening to the Pittsburgh defense often right now. It's not the Pittsburgh defense of old. I just saw Cincinnati.
That's a name. Who? Unlikely name, but man,
Mike Tomlin.
Ill to have Mike Tomlin.
Oh God, yeah, dude.
Good Lord.
Me? Yeah,
I don't see that happening though. But
Pittsburgh pretty much stands by their guys. How many coaches have they had? 4.
Yes.
Cowher,
5 max, but I'm pretty sure it's 4.
Who was there before Cowher? I can't think of his name.
Oh God.
He was there forever.
I know what you're talking about too.
Yeah, you can see him.
Chuck.
Chuck Noll. Chuck Noll. I mean,
yeah, Tomlin in a heartbeat.
Now, why is it that coaching longevity works for Pittsburgh, but it doesn't work for us?
Because they hire the right people.
Do they?
They do.
Yeah,
it's just something that I don't know, man. To have coaches that last as long as they do in Pittsburgh.
Dude, they've had 3 coaches since 1969.
Jesus, we've had 3 coaches in the last 12 years.
And they always develop their talent.
Yeah, that place is a wide receiver factory.
And let them go when they want too big of money. Like,
yep. Santonio Holmes won them a Super Bowl MVP, won them the Super Bowl, and then they're just like, "See ya."
We got him eventually.
Did he have 1 catch? He had 1 catch as a Bear.
That
Jesus
sounds right. Maybe. That was That was the year Kendall Wright was our leading receiver.
I was
right?
confusing that with Victor Cruz for a minute, but that was.
Oh my God! Let's do salsa.
I think the Roy Williams signing was my favorite over the hill veteran receiver signing.
He had a year though. He had 1 year where he was decent.
I just remember that comment he made after the game where they forget who it was that threw him the ball down. I think it was Jay actually threw him the ball, and he was on the goal line and he put his hands up real quick and it bounced off his head. And after the game, he was like, "Yeah, I looked up and all I saw was this big brown thing coming towards me." Pause. It's like, yeah, Roy, that's the football.
Muhammad and Marshall are probably my 2 favorite veteran signings at wide receiver.
Yeah, definitely the 2 that have been the most productive and worked out. That's for sure.
I miss Brandon Marshall's skill, man.
Dude, hell yeah. For sure.
He can turn you out. He can turn it around on you. He was good.
That's what a number 1 looks like.
Yep. People forget.
Yep.
Allen Robinson's had moments, but Go ahead, Brian.
Not $18 million a year worth of moments.
Nope. Not even close. Not since being on this team.
Just saying. I wish he was that dude. I wish he was a B Marsh type dude.
Less crazy, but yes. I agree.
Oh God! Imagine if Marshall wasn't.
If he wasn't nuts, God, he'd still be playing.
Yeah. But man, yeah, that just took the dark turn.
Sorry.
Anyway, so yeah, coaching searches. We talked about that a little bit. Like I said, so you got right now. Day is the guy you want the most, Jer.
Yeah,
it's for me. Biscuits. Did you still like Von?
No, Alex Van Pelt with the Browns.
Yeah.
No, see, as soon as I mentioned a name, the Browns' offense has turned to shit. So, no, that's out the window.
That's because the quarterback sucks.
Honestly,
who's your lead dog?
I don't even know if I have one at this point. I'd say anybody that doesn't wear a visor. That's where I'm at. As long as you don't wear a visor, sure, come coach here. I just don't have any faith that we're going to get it right. That's at the point of the season that I'm at right now. Just like
it's pretty brutal.
I mean, sure, McDaniels.
Why you make just a bold throw shit against the wall, see if it sticks. 6-0 Bears.
Oh,
just so you could tell everybody you told them so.
I told you. Should listen.
That was my favorite part of this pod.
And what are we, 2 games out of the playoff hunt or some weird shit?
We're one game out. One game out.
That's why I was interested in the Washington score.
Dude, we're the second to last team in the NFC, and we're 1 game out of the playoffs. It's pathetic.
Had Seattle won,
yeah,
that would have put us because we only have tiebreakers over really one.
That would give this ownership
potentially Minnesota.
And this is the Bears, bro. So there's not going to be many. How many job openings do you think there'll be next offseason? 2, 3?
Well, Giants are probably going to fire Joe Judge.
No, I don't know about that.
I mean, Dave Gettleman's going out, so what are you bringing in a GM and saying, hey, you got to keep Judge for a year? I think Gettleman's gone, dude.
I think there's already reports out about that.
That's been a train wreck. I don't even know why they hired that guy.
Ernie Accorsi.
All right, so we'll throw the Giants in there. All right, so you said Giants, Bears.
I think Seattle could be in trouble. I think you could see a coaching change in Seattle.
Fuck, give me Pete Carroll. I'd be cool with that.
Pete Carroll's a West Coast guy.
Oh, let's act like we're too good for Pete Carroll. Come on.
Do you remember Pete Carroll, Patriot Pete Carroll?
I do.
Man, that was so long ago.
Okay. Quarterbacks help, bro.
Yep.
Wait, okay, so hold on. So we're saying that McDaniels is okay despite his bad tenure in Denver just a short time ago.
He went to the playoffs in Denver and won with Tim Tebow.
That was John Fox with Tebow.
Was it Fox?
That was John Fox. Stats and gravy.
Tebow, he did bring Tebow in though.
He did. He drafted Tebow. He did. I'm almost positive.
Oh, you're right. I think you're right, but
anyways, so let's just say hypothetically, you're saying McDaniels. Okay, he flopped in Denver, but that's not a detriment for you to shy away from him. But Pete Carroll, 90s Patriots, is somehow an objection to him.
Russell Wilson, I think, can make a lot of coaches work.
Oh, sure. I mean, any good coach who's had a lot of success has had a good quarterback behind him. That's a fact. I think Pete Carroll could assemble. I mean, Pete Carroll's gotten a decent amount of guys hired after the fact.
He had good assistant coaches.
They did. Also helped that John Snyder was actually one of the best GMs in the league for a couple of years running too. So
right,
Carolina could be a spot.
You think the Seahawks are going to be? Carolina's not going to be a spot.
I don't see Rule being fired. Not yet. I don't see Carroll being fired personally.
No.
But I can see where it happens.
That it could be a surprise one. I'll give Jer that one.
So
Vic could be out in Denver.
He's in the playoff hunt right now.
So is Nagy.
Different conference. He's got a winning record too.
I don't know, man. There was a lot of smoke around Vic last year, though, too. Would I fire him? No. I think he needs a quarterback. To be 6-5 with Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater, he should get the fucking medal.
And you trade away your best pass rusher.
All right, let's say I'm not going to go through the whole league. Let's say definites. We're looking at Bears and Raiders probably.
Yeah.
What do they have in common?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying
I know, but it's just irony.
What I'm trying to connect here is the argument you brought up about we're not that far out of the playoff hunt is enough for this stupid ownership to hang their hat on. As bad as things went, we were still in the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, but this is actually a year where we might have the pick of the litter for coaching candidates, and I could see this organization letting that pass them by. If you're one of three organizations that's looking for a coach, that's not that many. And you have Justin Fields. What do the Raiders have at QB?
Derek Carr, baby.
Sure, but I'm just saying Fields is an intriguing prospect for a first time or a head coach to come here for.
Would you want a first time head coach or would you want an established guy? Like you said, you're McDaniels, so you're going more established in the league. It's kind of more of what you are looking at.
It depends how he feels about Fields. He was at his pro day. You know what I mean? He was in the pictures and everything. So
Well, be a fly on the wall for that. Wouldn't that have been interesting to hear what those guys had to say?
I'm sure they like what they saw. There was only a couple teams there at the second one, right?
Matt Nagy in there like a.
I'm just saying this really might be a good year to move on from Nagy, and I'm hoping they do, and they don't find some bullshit excuse not to.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Wouldn't the natural progression to be to go with a college coach now? We've tried the defensive coordinator with Lovey. We tried the Canadian offensive whiz with Tressman. Then we tried the established veteran coach with John Fox. Then we went with the hot up-and-coming offensive coordinator with Nagy. That only leaves the college coach left, boys.
And
So
special teams.
Ryan Day, sign me up, Dave Tobe. Let's go.
The last college coach to work out was Cliff, right? Out in Arizona.
And that's still for debate.
Unless you count, the last one, yeah.
It's still for debate. I mean, he's 9-3 right now.
Yeah.
We'd kill for that.
Oh, I know, but they've also been on hot streaks and took a shit. See last season.
They also took a quarterback that people were saying was too small and all this bullshit and turned into one of the best in the league.
After drafting Josh Rosen in the first round.
And
That's
there's something there's something to that too. So I'm not opposed to Ryan Day because of that reason. Fields will be able to develop really well with him.
Yeah, and South Elgin, yeah, absolutely. We hope and pray they move on from Matt Nagy as well. 100%.
T's and P's, bro. T's and P's.
No.
It's rough, man.
Do a game preview later in the week. Is that the game plan, fellas?
I think that's the plan.
Get back to
unless you want to dive right into it.
Can't wait to see those score predictions.
Well, I'd like to see if Kyler's going to even be a.
Yeah, we haven't even got an injury reports or nothing yet. So.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's going to affect my score prediction. I think Colt McCoy could fling that rock against this defense.
Now, is anybody slated to come back on the defense from injury? That's a good question. I don't know. Akeem's still kind of nursing a hammy too, right?
Yeah. Quan's not. We'll be fine.
Wonder if Kindle's going to come back. I heard his burned ass is feeling a little raw right now. I don't know if he'll be back.
I don't know, man. I've seen DBs have a bad year. Like him, who's not played a whole lot. Maybe he comes out with some fire and shows a little pride. Who knows? Or maybe they put him in the slot since Duke Shelley went out, correct?
I think he would be better off in the slot. I know he's always traditionally played outside, but I like him better in the slot.
I think that if we just start cheering blindly to everything they do, like Eddie Jackson wants us to,
yes,
everything will get better.
Please don't boo us.
Prime time Eddie
We're trying
Jackson.
So hard.
Look, kids, I even have my own cereal.
Man,
Eddie going back to bitching about the fans. Like, Eddie, you had a COVID year last year. We didn't have to deal with it. Welcome back, bro. This is part of the deal. You suck. We're going to let you know.
Like that 2 years ago. It was like that 2 years ago whenever they got booed, and they earned it.
Well, that's what Aaron Lemming posted something about it. I'm like, what has cheering done?
Right?
Look, when we cheer, Eddie, what has that done?
I mean, I'm not usually like boo guy unless like if we're at a road stadium and they're booing their quarterback. Oh yeah, I'll help.
It was more about the fire Nagy chants. It's like
if chanting and booing though, like if that makes you perform your job any worse, then you're clearly not the right guy in this profession.
What it let me know is that they're hearing us. That's what we want.
Good.
We want to be heard.
Fix it.
We don't have many avenues.
George and Ted hearing us.
Fucking fix it.
You know they're hearing it, dude. You know George probably watches on his iPad in bed and sobs over it.
Like the Wolverine picture. Classic.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a fan, man. He's a Silver Spoon fan. He got handed the keys to the palace way over his head, but he's a fan. Yeah. Not defending the dude. He's just not.
I'm not defending him either, but I don't subscribe to the theory that he doesn't not care about winning. That he just, I know AA, you know, you're not listening, but yeah, I think it's all about the money. I really don't think it's all about that for them. I do think they want to win. I just think they're so fucking inept on how to make it happen, and winning prints more money. Yeah,
and that was one of the CBS Sports posted an article about Chicago being one of the more. It was in the article about Chicago being one of the most desirable location for a head coach because you come here, you can run shit because they're so inept.
Yeah,
you would think. Evidently, they can't run it well. They keep running it right in the fucking ground.
Because they're putting the people in charge that are doing that. The football guys, who they claim the football guys are, just aren't doing their job well. So,
and then they listen to the football guys when they talk shit about guys like Harry Eastand and Ryan Helfrich.
Unless Sean Payton ends up here, I want Pace going too.
Pace needs to be gone, regardless. I mean, I know it makes a lot more sense for him to stay if Sean Payton's here because they have that working relationship connection.
I wonder what the average
sell me on that. Maybe
I wonder what the average like GM to coach ratio is in the NFL. Do they get 3 hires? Because this will be technically his 3rd.
Yeah, not many get 3 hires.
I mean, you could say that they were influenced by a Corsi and they wanted to stick Fox with him in order to build the room or what, because he was inexperienced. But
yeah,
could you argue that didn't really count for Ryan Pace and he really didn't get to pick his guy other than Matt Nagy?
No, because he agreed to it.
Boom. Don't take the job if that's not who you want to hire. But let's just say hypothetically it was forced on him. You're not going to count it. I still think you have the Nagy strike and you have the Mitch strike. Those are the quarterback and the head coach, 2 most important decisions.
Kevin White
as a general manager.
How far we want to go on this first round debacle?
Leonard Floyd.
Really...
Honestly, not bad. I mean, you look at the rest of that way that first round panned out. The Leonard Floyd pick wasn't awful. I still think you trade back off that pick and acquire more. And that's the thing that kicks me the most about Pace is his lack of self-awareness. For a guy who hits so much in the 4th and 5th round, why are you not trading back more to acquire more of those mid-round picks?
They traded up to get Floyd.
That's what I know, but stay at that position or trade back in the first round. Like, why are you giving up capital to move up in what was probably a super thin first round?
Hard telling, man.
But he has conviction on his guys.
And he's fired up.
He's fired up and excited.
So you guys have a good Thanksgiving?
I did. Anytime you get to watch the Bears win, even if it's a shitty game, it's a good Thanksgiving. I thought I was going to have to work. I didn't have to, which was great.
Nice.
And ended up at my aunt's, and we had a good time seeing family. And we play bingo with the noodles. Like, she gets a bunch of pasta out, and everybody gets noodles. So whenever somebody gets bingo, all the family members take a wad of noodles and just throw it at them.
What?
This really happens, man. It's not cooked noodles.
Is that a family tradition? Oh, dude, that's even worse. So you're throwing hard pasta at people?
Yes. Kids, we don't care.
What are they? Rigatoni? What kind of noodles are we talking?
We're talking elbow.
Elbow noodle. The jumbo elbows or the regular?
No, little bit of gas.
Okay.
Little bit of gas.
Okay.
What a pain.
It's just fun. Yeah, I think my uncle hates it, but
shocker.
Bears game had no impact on my day, and I wasn't gonna let it. I was just like, Food was good though. Had a great time with the family.
Oh,
nice.
But Bears game didn't, one way or another, wasn't gonna ruin my day. So
I'm not gonna lie, if we lost to the Lions, it would have put a little bit of a damper on my day.
yes.
I think it would have.
no, because it'd be more heat on Nagy for me.
Yeah, but to lose to the fucking Lions, to be the Lions' only win.
Nobody wants to be that
I don't want
guy.
that embarrassment. I don't think winning against the Lions moves the needle.
I was not rooting for it. I wanted them to win, of course. But like if they did, I'm like, it's just one more nail in the coffin. Is what it is.
I had a good Thanksgiving. I had the driest turkey you could imagine. It was fantastic. Christmas Vacation, when they cut that thing open and the smoke comes out, that was mine. It's beautiful. I did burn my cornbread though. Cornbread did not make it to the table. It was too burnt even for me. It was just terrible.
If anybody knows Biscuits is an aficionado of the scorched earth food policy.
Yeah, he's like
follow me for more cooking tips, people.
He likes horror movies, and that's how he treats his meat.
Pause.
Anything else, guys? Or you think we're?
I think that's pretty much covered it. I don't know. We could bitch more about it, but we'll have more time this week to bitch about it.
Maybe I'll reach out to Tail Greeter this week, so we'll see.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, but thank you everybody for listening, and we'll be back later in the week to break down the big game against the Cardinals. So
hey, man, thanks for listening, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate your support, But
nice to see the people in the chat. Follow us on all the socials at The Tailgate Show.
Yep.
And it's all you.
That's just another episode of The Tailgate Show.
Da Bears. Are you going to do this, Biscuits?
Is it me? Is it my turn?
Yes, dipshit.
Duh! AA listening party.
Fuck up. God damn.
All that time for that.
The new guy.
Peace.
These people.
Need to get